Welcome back to my channel. I am Ohemaa Mamakwa, and thank you for joining me. Today I will be reviewing the Tyler Perry movie, Why Did I Get Married? Why? Well, I have reviewed some Tyler Perry movies before, or a Tyler Perry movie. Either way, I've reviewed Tyler Perry before, Acrimony. If you would like to check that review out, I will have the link in the description box below. But today I'm actually going to be reviewing Why Did I Get Married? In my opinion, it is one of Tyler Perry's best movies. He doesn't have too many, let's be honest. He doesn't have a lot of really good movies, but he has quite a few, a handful, and in my opinion, Why Did I Get Married is one of them. So Why Did I Get Married? We have Janet Jackson, Tyler Perry, of course, Tasha Smith, Michael J. White, I'm not sure, Sharon Leo, Jill Scott, and Richard Jones. And I think I also mentioned Malik Yoba. If not, he's in there too. So they're the core couples, the four main couples in the movie. So the four dynamic couples, they're going on their annual retreat. So they're getting ready. They're going to Colorado, and they're getting there in different ways. So for example, Patricia and Gavin, they're going, I'm assuming that they're going to go by plane, or that they did go by plane, because I'm pretty sure he said we're going to be late for our flight, so they did fly. Angela and Marcus, they're taking the train. Diane and Terry, they're driving, which is interesting, but I'll get to that in a little bit. And Mike and Sheila and Trina. Yes. It was supposed to be a couple, but yeah, for whatever reason, Trina ends up coming along too. And they're supposed to take a plane. Gonna get to that in a second. So Patricia is talking about her book. She's doing a lecture. She's talking about her book, Why Did I Get Married? And this is where, when she mentions a couple's name, then we switch to that couple and the different ways that they're getting there, which is interesting because usually, I would think, they're all gonna get there by plane, or they're all gonna get there by car. So I did find it really interesting that they got there in different ways. Because you don't really see that. Like me personally, me and my husband, when depending on where we're going, we're either flying or we're taking the car, but the train might be something to look into for sure, because I know certain places you can take the train. So I guess it's a matter of convenience, and maybe money was also a factor. But yeah, they get there in different ways. And mind you, they're getting to Colorado. So with Diane and Terry, the reason why they take the car is because Terry wants to spend more time with Diane, but Diane knows that, this is supposed to be a vacation, so she wants to see if she can get some work done. But, Terry's not here for it. It's like, I want to spend time with my wife. That's why I want us to be in the car. She's like, okay, no work, happy. So there's no work. Sheila, we run into an issue with Sheila, Mike, and Trina. I have to bring Trina in there because Trina, yeah. So Sheila is in the front, and then Mike and Trina are in the back, which is already weird. Like, Trina should have been in the front, and Mike and Sheila should have been in the back. But then, as they're getting ready to go and things like that, the flight attendant comes to her and is like, we have a full flight, and because of your size, you should have had 2 seats. And she's like, okay. And Mike is like, you can take the car, you can drive there. And Trina does offer her seat, so this is probably like one of the good things that she does, is she offers up her seat so that they can go, and I guess she wouldn't go. Mike is like, no, because I'll be uncomfortable. We don't care. That's uncalled for. That is not okay. No, Trina should have stood her ground and been like, no. If she needs an extra seat, she can take my seat, and hey, I'll catch y'all when y'all get back, or I'll take a train, or I'll just, get another flight and get there, a few hours later or whatever. So I do feel like Trina should have stood her ground, and Mike was absolutely wrong for that. And then of course, she is fat, blah blah blah. It's like that's not okay. That's absolutely unnecessary. Mike was very fat phobic in this movie. He really was. So now, Angela and Marcus, they're taking the train. And of course, Angela is going off about Marcus's ghetto baby mama. How, she doesn't like her. She doesn't want her talking negatively about her to the kids, which is understandable. Like, if you have to co-parent, don't bring the kids into it by, telling them, oh, well, she's like this, and that's childish. Don't do that. And there is like a couple, I believe they're a gay couple, and they're like, I know that's right, and this. I'm like, okay, are you really? Like, why is that necessary? I understand Angela is loud. That's just how she is. Throughout the movie, she is loud. That's just her character. So I do understand, some people may not want to hear the whole conversation, but it's still like, okay, that smart talk. If you're going to do that, then prepare for Angela's wrath. And she had some words for them. She got up and she had some words for them. And Marcus is like, and of course, she's also been drinking. So like that, yeah. So with Patricia and, okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. With Patricia and Gavin, Patricia doesn't get into her marriage because, of course, they're talking about the different couples' marriages. And as that's happening, we see that, they're getting to the destination. So it finally lands on Patricia, and, Gavin is in the back, and a student asks a question about how they're doing, and she's like, ask my husband. The whole class turns around, and he's like, we're getting ready to go on our flight to vacation. That's how we're doing. And she says, yeah, that's how we're doing. Thank you. And then she, they walk out of the classroom, which, like I said earlier, I believe they took a flight. So at this point, everyone arrives except for Sheila. So when I say everyone, first, Diane and Terry, they arrive. So there they meet, the sheriff, Troy, who, as the story goes along, he does have an integral role in the movie. And then, of course, Patricia and Gavin, and then Angela and Marcus. I think that's the order, I'm not sure. And then Mike and Trina. And of course, the girls are like, where's Sheila? Sheila is driving and there is snow, and she's just like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And she's, praying to God. She's listening to gospel music, and like that really does help her through. But, it just looks like it's too much. Like she just won't be able to make it up to the cabin that night. So she does end up going to the sheriff's station, and we see Troy again. And Troy is like, I can't get you up there because, of the snow. There's supposed to be a storm. And she's like, okay, well, can I get some coffee? She drinks the coffee. The coffee is bitter. He's like, I'm sorry about that. He offers her a cell. She's like, I've never been in jail. And he's like, well, technically, you're not in jail. You're just, you're just spending the night. So, you still haven't been to jail. And, yeah, so that happens, and eventually, the next day, the girls are making breakfast, which is kind of funny because Patricia doesn't cook, and, the guys, they're just chilling. Trina is mingling with the guys, and it's just like, again, weird. And Sheila, Sheila and Troy, they show up, and she's like, Diva! Diva! Call back to Fresh Prince. I used to love when I think it was anytime Vi would show, she'd be like, divas. That was one of my favorite parts of Fresh Prince, especially when the sisters were coming together. I definitely like that. So, Sheila comes in, she's giving everybody hugs, she sees a girl, she gets some food to eat. And they sit down and she's like, Trina, Troy is single. And I told him about you all night. We talked about you all night. And it's just like, eh. So, she sits down and Trina and Troy, they also sit next together. So I feel like it was during dinner. I'm not sure particularly when, but this is where things are about to get crazy. So we finally find out, like people's, things are coming out. Like different things are starting to come out about people. Hold on for a minute. Things are going to start coming out about people. So, we were probably wondering why Trina was there. She wasn't really there for Sheila. She was there because of Mike. So the previous night, Mike sneaks into Trina's room and doesn't come out until a few hours later, like a couple of hours before dinner. So we find out Trina is there because she's messing with Mike. Marcus, because he had been burning, like early on when all the guys arrived and, like the guys were outside doing their thing, chucking wood, and, the girls were indoors doing their thing. He tells Terry that he's burning. So this comes up because Mike is like, oh, I'm not going down. I'm not the only person that has secrets. Y'all got secrets too, and I'm going to let it be known. So Mike is like, does Angela know, and it's like, so, it comes out, obviously, that he's burning, and Angela's like, you're not burning because, like, you didn't give it to me. I gave it to you. Booyah. And he's like, and he, like, wraps his arms, he wraps his hands around her neck, and she's like, get off me, get off me, get off me, and, they break them apart. So now it comes out that Terry got his daughter tested. Again, because these are secrets, there are certain people that didn't know about certain things. So now it's just like, whoa. But some way, somehow, Mike, I guess, because like the guys, they were letting it be known. And I guess, Mike being married to Sheila, whatever is going on, she's going back to telling him. So that's probably how he knows about everything that's going on, because everybody else looks surprised. So we find out that Diane got her tubes tied, which Terry didn't know. Gavin thought what Patricia did was stupid because, there is something that happened, something very heartbreaking that happened. They did end up losing their child in a fatal car accident. And Patricia is like you can tell, she wants to cry, but then she's also angry, like so many emotions. Everybody was going through so many emotions as the secrets are coming out. And Sheila, she's taking everything in, everything that's being said and things like that. She's just taking it in. There's a bottle on the table. She grabs that bottle on his bag, and he falls to the ground. And she just throws the rest of the glass on the floor. She walks out and leaves. We later find out that she goes to a hotel, and Troy, he's there to check on her, and she's like, you here to arrest me? Did I unalive him? It's like, no, but he's really hurt. So at this point, it's the next, I want to say it's the next day, I think. Either way, a few hours later, everybody is leaving, except for Sheila. She doesn't leave. But I'm guessing everybody wasn't aware of that because everybody left at different times. Like Terry and Diane, they left in their car, of course. And then Patricia and Gavin, they left as well. And then Angela and Marcus, they left too. And it's just like weird energy. There's some awkwardness there, of course. So When they get home, they dinner. She's cutting asparagus, and she's like, I think she's like, you want chicken or steak? And he grabs it out of her, slams it on the counter, because she hasn't, like, while everybody's, like, talking about their emotions, they're coming to Patricia because she's also their, I want to say their therapist or psychologist. Either way, like, she hasn't been able to, like, fully grieve. So, like, the husband's been grieving. He's holding a picture at this point, and he just wants her to look at the picture. And I guess she's like, it's too much. I didn't know. I thought I had him strapped in properly. And, like, this was another heartbreaking moment where, he holds her and he's like, you don't have to hurt by yourself. And it's always, like, so emotional when I see that scene, because I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, they're obviously both crying because it's a lot. Then Diane, for some reason, she thinks that, Terry cheated, or Terry is cheating, because this is something that I kind of forgot to mention. Of course, as they arrive, they're all calling each other, I guess, like on a four-way or a three-way or something like that. That's how we find out that Sheila stayed back with Troy, because I'm guessing at this point, her and Mike are done. And she mentioned something about, oh yeah, Diane, tell Terry I said happy birthday. She forgot it was Terry's birthday. So, she comes home and she's like, because she sees, I want to say her name is Monica. Like, I know it's Monica for Girlfriends, but I think her name in the movie is also Monica. She comes by, they're sitting there, they're eating cake, or they've had some cake, and Diane is like, and she's like, yeah, get out, and then she leaves, and she tells Terry, don't bring that, back into the house, blah, 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 blah. And, like, they're going up the stairs, to check on their daughter. And as they're talking, it's like, she's been there for your daughter's recital and this and that and that. And you don't tell me who gets to come in here and all of this and all of that. Yeah. So when it comes to Angela and Marcus, they're there to pick the kids up because, again, they're back. Really nice car too. And I guess things are about to take a left, and Marcus, like, checks all of them before the kids get in the car. He checks Keisha and he checks Angela, and he tells the kids, put your seatbelts on, it's okay. Well, he doesn't say it's gonna be okay, but don't forget to buckle in. And then he closes the door and then he walks away, and she's like, where are you going? And you can tell that he needed to cool off. So she gets in the driver's seat, and she, like, her and Keisha, like, they make, like, eyes, like, yeah, girl, whatever, like, to each other, not to him. Like, that's the eyes that I was getting from them. And she gets in the car and they drive off. So now they all end up at Patricia's award banquet. And here we see, like, the girls, they're gathering together. But before that happens, Sheila, we see, like, she's lost some weight. She's looking really beautiful. She was beautiful before, but she is looking really beautiful now. And she's like, just checking herself. She, she's finished using the bathroom. She's washing her hands. Trina comes in, and she was like, I wondered what I was gonna do when I saw you. Was I gonna cuss you out? Was I gonna whoop that ass? And she's like, She pretty much smiles at her and walks out, and Trina is like dumbfounded pretty much. So, she walks out, she goes to see the girls, she's, like, we got married, and, like, he's kissing on her, and he's, really cute, and Angela's like, go so we can talk to our friends, like, the girls have a moment and things like that. Really sweet moment. Troy goes back out to hang out with the guys, and, like, they're getting ready, things like that. They're talking about what's going on, like, Trina being there, and, he's pretty much like, they're together, and Troy was like, we were working out, and Gab was like, know what that means? I'm like, oh my goodness, just goofy. But eventually, everybody is seated, and Mike is talking about this and this and that and that, and she's like, I'm not worried about you. Go back to your 20, because there's like an 80-20 thing going on. He's like, go back to your 20. And he sits back, we listen to Patricia's speech. We listen to Patricia's speech, really sweet. She's like, Gavin, I love you. I love you. She's teary-eyed, emotional. And that's pretty much how the movie ends. It ends, kind of on a happy note. So all in all, because again, I hadn't watched this in years, and with me being a 30-something-year-old woman, Black woman, I was like, hey, let me go ahead and watch it. And I'm glad that I did, because I didn't realize how decent of a movie it is. If I had to give it a rating, I would say it's probably like a 7 out of 10. Because like I said, for me, it is a top 5 Tyler Perry movie. I did find like it was really good. Certain things were just, like, he had a hard time, like, putting Medea away. Like, whenever he would, say something, like yell or do certain things, Medea would kind of come out a little bit. So I found that interesting. But yeah, I did enjoy it. Even, like watching it back, of course, Angela and Marcus were the comedic relief. So I did enjoy. And this is one of the few Tyler Perry movies where the dark-skinned brother is like good, like decent, because usually in Tyler Perry movies, for whatever reason, the dark-skinned Black man is like a bad guy, but the light-skinned one is the good guy. It's like the savior. It's like the hero. So I found that very interesting. But yeah, I do recommend this movie. I do enjoy it. And I actually also watched Why Did I Get Married 2? I watched them about a few days apart. So I will also be reviewing Why Did I Get Married 2? But yes, thank you so much for watching. We have come to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about Why Did I Get Married? Let me know what you think about this video. And of course, I am always open to some suggestions when it comes to movies or TV shows or web series. Just, put that in the comments below and I will take a look into it. So yes, don't forget to take care, keep on moving, and be optimistic no matter what.